In this lesson, we're going to see how we can import 3D objects from the web. Now, we already saw how we can get some assets from the official Blender website and also from another website called Blender Kit. In that case, we installed an add-on and we imported assets from there. So those two were two options to insert additional objects in our scene. And in this video, we're going to see some more. Now, just to recap here, we will go to the preferences, and also I'm gonna turn this quickly into English. Okay, and if we go to add-on, we can turn on and off any add-on that we want to use. Now, in this case, I want to check this on right here, and this is again the Blender Kit add-on. So this is one way we can import stuff, and also one way we can customize little by little our blenders. And Blender is highly customizable. We can add tools, we can change here, we saw the views, we can create and arrange these as we like. And let me just show you here like that. Okay, so for example here, if I want the asset browser, I can click on the type of view, and this is going to be now the asset browser. And we can configure, we saw the path files for the library. Again, in the previous video, we saw how to do all of this. Now, just to show you here that this could be an extra tool here from Blender Kit that you can use. And this is the chair right here that you're just seeing right now. So let's click here, let's import something more for free. Now all of the locked assets are gonna be for sale, I believe. So click there, and that's gonna be right there inside as an object that you can use. And sometimes they are groups, sometimes they are single objects, depends on the assets that you will import. So I'm gonna also show you the right panel here. So if you click here, you have the Blender Kit panel. You need to click and drag to expand it, or you have it also right here at the top. You can open and close. You have different type of assets. Perhaps later in the course we're gonna see something more of this. This is just to recap real quickly. Now you can see that, or you may notice that the more you will work in Blender, the more you will create your own interface with your own views that you like to use, and whatever you want to see in place, you can actually save it as your workspace, as your customized workspace. So for example, here you have some additional feature for the viewports, and you can decide to see the floor, the grid, the axis, or not to see anything. And I also suggest you use statistics, which are pretty useful to see the vertices in your scene and the faces, which are polygons basically, so you can control and manage the heaviness of your scene. So this is another thing you could place there. And so you have many customization here that you can do once you're ready. And also here you can apply more of these viewports if you want. You can again click and drag back something that you don't need. So right here I can create a new one, or click and merge these two. So this could become kind of a library, or I can place it down below there. So you can really be free on how you want to set up everything. Now I'm gonna use the standard interface, but just to show you, if you go up here and you click on this plus icon, you can go back to one of these existing layouts, or you can create your layout. So if you go here and say duplicate current, it's gonna create an additional layout. So if I double click down inside there, I can call this, for example, custom. Okay, so this will be my custom layout, and then I can move back here. Now this one here is the standard, let's say, but we already modified that. Now if we want to go back to the defaults, you can go to File, go to Defaults, and say Load Factory Settings. So everything is gonna go back to the initial state of Blender in terms of, in this case, we're talking about the layout or the interface. So when you want to go back to the original interface, you can click here, or you can create new. So you can see also mine has disappeared. So again, I need to recreate it. So I'm gonna, well, just start from this. I'm gonna create a new one and call this custom real quick. Okay, and then I'm just gonna start to change everything here, do a lot of strange things. Let's say that this is gonna be my interface for some reason. Okay, so this one here now is custom, so I can go back to layout or go back to custom. And also, if you want to start, for example, not with a cube, whatever you have in mind. So for example, let me open up a recent file, which is gonna be this lesson 5, which I have prepared just to show you also how you can import models from websites. There you go. These are models from Render People, but I'm going to show you in just a minute how to import them. But let's say that I want this to be my default scene. So every time I open up Blender, I want to see this stuff. And also, let's check here the textures so we can see some textures. Okay. So let's say that this is going to be my default. So if I go here and say default, save startup file, and again, click on save startup file. Now, every time I'm gonna create a new file, so let's say that I'm gonna delete everything and start a new file, general, don't save. There you go. So you're always gonna start with this one here. So it's kind of defining a standard or a default template. And again, if you get tired of this, you can go to File and go to Defaults and go to Load Factory Settings. And this is gonna bring everything back to the original state. Now, also here, if you go in the Preferences, you can make these, you can make some changes. Now, this is, for example, in English. Okay. Now, let me show you something more. Here in the viewport, you can change the gizmo size. We can, for example, define here some settings about the viewports or lights. Let me see if there is something a little bit more interesting here, but some of these we're gonna see them later. Well, actually the add-on itself is gonna be something that is gonna customize your Blender, as we said before. And system, okay, we can change sound and things like that. File paths here is where we can apply new folders. Well, basically you can change anything here, but if you think you made some mistake, remember also you can save them. But if you think you did something wrong, you can click on this little hamburger menu down here, and you can see that we have auto saving for the preferences, but you can also do this manually by unchecking this and saving preferences. But when you think you have done something strange, or something is not working properly, you can click here and go to Load Factory Preferences. And again, so this is gonna bring back everything as it is. So this is how you can go back. So feel free to customize and to experiment with your Blender. Anytime you want to go back, you saw now where to go. Now let's go back to the previous scene, which we created earlier in the course. So we had this kind of fake room with this only 2 walls and 1 pavement, and we created a simple table. So I'm gonna delete these characters. We're gonna import them back, and let's go to the web and open up any browser or any search engine you can search for, renderpeople.com. We're gonna also add a link in the description, which you can use to get to the website. So here we can, if we start from the home page, you can click on the free models. So you have a lot of assets here, but in particular you will find people. So this is a little bit different from the previous video, just to show you again different options. And in this case, we are kind of using an external website. So we don't know if we're gonna actually find Blender files or any other files type. So you can see we have 3D pose people, we have 3D rigged people. These are to be animated. This one here are already animated. So let's start with these 3 posed people. If you click here, free download, they're gonna be downloaded into your download folder. So this is the first thing you need to do. Click there. It's gonna be a zipped file, either for this one and this one. I have downloaded these 2, 3D pose people and 3D animated people. So you can do yourself the same thing. So if I just click there, now if I click here, you can see that we don't have a Blender file. We have only other software like 3ds Max, Cinema 4D, Maya, Unreal Engine, Unity, and you will find also videos in our channel about this other software, which are really interesting as well. But in this case, we need to have the FBX file. FBX files can be used in Blender. So you can click there and save it whatever you want. You can see I've already saved it and extracted because it's going to be a zipped folder at the beginning. You need to extract the content in a folder. In my case, I've created a render people folder inside my Blender course folder here. So I can use this, for example, as a library of assets, just as we did again in the previous video. I can turn them into assets. Okay, now in this case for 3D pose people, instead we have Blender. So when you have native Blender file, this is gonna be better because it's gonna be in Blender already. But don't worry, because FBX are really compatible with Blender, and also OBJ files are okay. But to make sure which type of file you can import, you go to File and go to Import. So these are all the formats that you can bring in Blender, unless you install an additional plugin that is going to help you to import other types of format. And you can see here OBJ FBX. And I'm going to show you also GLTF, which is another pretty popular format in another website that I'm going to show you just in a couple of minutes. Well, a little bit more. So let's start with these models from the Render People website. Now, if we have a Blender file, again, we can create an asset as we did in the previous video, but also we can do another thing that I find pretty easy to do. So I'm gonna show you how to do it. If you go to the navigate into the folder, so this is gonna be FBX, and this is gonna be the one we're gonna find in the Blender file. So let's use this one, for example. Now, be careful because this is 30K and this is 100K. Now, this is the heaviness of the model. It's talking about polygons. So 30,000 or 100,000 polygons. So in this case, I'm gonna get the lightest, this one here, and just double click. It's gonna open up another Blender window. And from here, the easiest thing to do